into the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Now let the buzz begin.
Is yours this one doing
Yeah,
that?
You can hear?
It's horrible. I can hear it buzzing.
Oh.
That's really loud.
I hear music.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, After Buzzers, and welcome to another fine episode of How to Get Away with Murder, Season 1, Episode 5, episode entitled We Aren't Friends. I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey, and joining me today is...
Hey guys, I'm Heather Joy Smith.
Hey guys, JB Zimmerman.
Hi, I'm Sterling Cates.
we have a very special guest this evening. He was a guest star on tonight's episode. He played Ryan, the son in despair, shot his daddy in the back. Julian De La Celle's in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, hello.
So bear with us because we're having a tad bit of audio difficulties. As you see, I'm halfway on and off. Ladies are off and JB is somewhat
It's buzzing
off.
really loud.
So let's get into this episode and just ignore that there's buzzing going all around us, but it is AfterBuzz. Ho, 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 no pun intended. Anyway, so what did you guys think about how the episode opened with Sam and Annalise having like this big fight?
I knew it the whole time that he was guilty. From the first episode, I was like, yep, it was her husband.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's dead,
Killed
so if he
him.
wasn't-
I know, well, he was wrapped up. Well, that was at the end. But before we knew that he was dead, I was just kind of like, he was suspicious to me the whole time. This is...
Yes, he was very, very suspect. No pun
Yes,
intended.
he is. I mean, I think all across the board, like, we still don't even know what, like, how deep it goes. Like, how many people is he having an affair with? Sort of seems a little sketchy with him and one of her assistants, the blonde.
Well, Bonnie.
Yeah, Bonnie.
I don't think that something's going on with Bonnie. I kind of did at first. It kind of made sense to make fun of the fact that he might have had something going on with her, but I think maybe it's just a crush on her end as opposed to.
I can't picture Bonnie as anything other than Paris from Gilmore Girls. Every time I see her, I'm just like, why'd you dye your hair, Paris? So,
That's
yeah,
funny.
I don't think anything's going on with her. I think she just wants to be with him, and he's just kind of like, who is this girl?
Julian,
What do
feel
you
free to
think?
chime in.
Yeah.
See, I don't know either, and I'm hooked on the show too. So now after this, I don't know anything. But I also think it's very much like a just under the table kind of crush thing. I don't think it's like anything's happening.
Totally. Question about that.
Maybe he like hooked up with her once, and
Or-
then you
or
know,
6 or
and then
7
never
times.
called. She's just kind of like, damn, he just
Salty
never
about
called.
Well, I think it's one of those
It's pretty
things where
cool.
like she's there all the time, you know, so she will see him pass by. It's kind of like puppy dog eyes. Like,
Yeah, she
And I
feels
think she's,
he's
like, falling.
underappreciated.
Yeah.
She's too old for him anyways. He likes the youngins.
Yeah, he likes the young bucks.
Just hook up with him 6 or 7 times.
Yep.
I mean, that's
Maybe
obviously.
10, maybe 11.
yeah.
We
Can't
don't
keep
really
count.
know.
I mean,
Who's
how are you
counting?
gonna lie about how many times you've had sex with somebody over a summer, the hottest time of the year, the steamiest time when people hook up, and I mean, people break up for the summer and they cuddle, get back during cuddling season,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
like, you're really gonna tell me that you only had sex with this girl 6 or 7 times? So I'm sure in her mind she's like, okay, multiply that times 5. That means that they hooked up by like
She's like
maybe
doing math.
40 times,
Yeah.
6 or 7 times in the course of 3 months. No, that's not.
I don't
fair.
even really know why it matters how many times. I feel like that always happens. People ask, how many times was it? Whether it was once
Kinda
or
like
like
one's
58
enough.
times.
Yeah.
I like how he's like
exactly.
too. He's like, yeah, you know, we did it at my office one time in her car. You know, like, he's like super like, I'll just say everything now.
For me, I wouldn't need to know those details.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I'm just like, all right, that's it. You're sleeping on the couch.
You're sleeping outside.
Right.
Which is where he ended up.
Yeah, exactly.
Rebecca also made it seem like Lila was using him instead of the other way around. It seemed like she broke it off. I mean, we don't know because she's dead, obviously. Hopefully more of those details will come to light. But
Well, that's funny that you mentioned that because during the, just jumping ahead, the psyche eval, because obviously Annalise is trying to find out some things. She basically is trying to find out if she's telling the truth, what she knows about Sam, the whole gambit of what's going on. And you can see her with the headphones on, so it's just like an audio. You know how like when you talk to somebody and you just start dating them and you can hear every tone of their voice and and you don't see them, there's so much more that you can detect during, just from audio. And I think that she was able to like figure out a lot just based on that conversation.
So like even if he, she couldn't see him, she knew that he was lying then?
Well, yeah, because I don't know if you guys noticed it, but there was a point in the conversation when they were talking, he started just responding and replying in almost a very careful manner, just so because he knew she was listening. Right. He knew Annalise was listening, so he didn't like want to say something to like make it seem like it worse than what he'd already dug himself in. Plus, he had to not let this girl know that like, yeah, I'm the guy that was on the phone. But she knew something was funny.
Yeah, but when do you think Rebecca figured it out that he was the person?
When she went to the bathroom?
I think she knew something was funny during the interview, during the eval.
Because she walked into the place, it didn't seem like she recognized the wallpaper or anything like that. She seemed like, all right, I'm going to go in here and do this. Maybe it was while she was in the psych eval or whatever, and from that time then when she left, I didn't get a hint from her that she knew what was up. She kind of played it off really well.
After she went to the bathroom, I don't think we saw her again after that.
You're right.
Yeah. No.
Because I mean, it makes sense that it would be the bathroom, but she's also really good at like covering it up.
Right.
True.
So I was trying to look for it too in her eyes, like when they shook hands.
Right.
But it was very much in the middle, like you weren't sure if she knew or if she didn't.
That makes me wonder now, because at first she mentioned like, okay, she has a high IQ and all these other things, which obviously she does, and she says she just likes making people uncomfortable, which she does. She even makes us feel uncomfortable, and we're watching her from nowhere, right? So I think that, just thinking back, that maybe she asked because she wanted to snoop around and look around a little bit.
Yeah, maybe she had suspicion.
Maybe she had some kind of suspicion, and it was like, can I go to the bathroom? Because she wanted to like maybe see if she saw anything that indicated her suspicion while she was.
I feel like his questions got, after she said that the person killed Lila or whatever, he got really defensive. Like his questions were like, well, do you have any proof of that? Like blah, 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 as opposed to saying unbiased and whatever. So that was definitely some red flags.
Maybe she found out by his questioning.
Yeah.
That's why she wanted to see the wallpaper to make sure.
Yeah, exactly. I felt he got like really defensive about that.
Does Rebecca know that Lila was in his class? Because she's not a student there.
Yeah.
So do you think she knows that?
Didn't seem like she did.
No. I don't think they brought it up to her when she came in that he was a teacher there.
Yeah, it didn't seem like she knew him at all, because she as a character is not afraid of like confrontation at all. I mean, we saw when Wes came to see her pretending to be a lawyer, she screamed for the guards, no problem. I think if she did recognize him at all, she would have made a scene.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so.
I'm not sure, because she's in a very precarious situation now. Now his wife is defending her to get like, it's very dicey now. Because it was just her lawyer though. Before, she was in jail before. It was like, I'm in jail. I didn't do it. Whatever happens will happen, and I'll get a defense, and they have to prove that I did it. I know I didn't do it. They won't be able to prove that I did something that I didn't do. Obviously, if I'm a million miles away and I had nothing to do with it, a million miles away figuratively, guys. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she had nothing to do with it. Now that she's like in the like pot with somebody who could have potentially did it, had an affair with her, and all this stuff. Now it's like, okay, I can't just, even if she knows something, she can't just confront him. Like, she did it. She took off.
Yeah.
Like, she figured it out, and she bounced.
And she was nervous to say something to Wes about it, because she's being really
She doesn't know. She doesn't know whether he knows or not.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I kind of wanted her to walk into the house and see his face and be like, "It's you. I know it's you."
That's what I expected to happen as soon as she walked in, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
But I guess she didn't see pictures of his face, so.
The face.
Yeah.
Just the wallpaper.
We just
and
needed
a few
something
other
else.
body parts.
Right. The wallpaper and a few other body parts. But if she couldn't see his face, how did she know that it wasn't a student or somebody
Yeah.
else that was like a law, maybe another student or something who just happened to be there and it was like,
Yeah.
perv or something.
Well, also
strip
there's-
down in Annalise's bathroom and take a picture.
Well, but she knows
Yeah.
that he's an older guy who's married and blah, blah, blah. And like her whole staff are unmarried
That's
people,
true.
young students.
I was gonna say there's lots
Yeah,
of
but
people
how does
going
she
in
know
and
that
out.
that body?
True, there
was
are
him? There's
many
no face
people
to
like
go
in and out
right.
of their
There's
house.
just
Yeah.
people in and out of
Sort
there,
of a home office.
right. I mean, it's obviously great deductive reasoning to think that it was him, but at the same time,
Well, yeah, I think that's why she thought both of them are just like she's got to leave, and she thought like it's that house, so anyone involved with them is dirty.
now we know why Wes is hiding out
Right.
with her somewhere, because now it's like, who do we trust? What do we do? Type of situation.
I do think all the fingers are pointing at Sam now, so now it's starting to seem like maybe it's not him. Like he's lied so much, and now it's like maybe that last one isn't a lie. Like he's been covering everything up, you know? Because he obviously cheated on her once before. Well, maybe more than that.
That we know
So
of.
if it's
Yeah.
not him, why is he dead?
I don't know.
I need answers.
These are the questions. But you
That's a
realize
good
that
question.
every
Yeah.
every
That's a good
episode
question.
we get like 2 weeks closer
Right.
to the
True.
actual
How many
time.
episodes do we have to go?
I don't know.
10 episodes?
I,
Is
I think it
13
might be
episode
even more
season?
than 2 weeks. Because I remember the first episode it was like 6 months, and now it says 6 weeks, and that's only like 5 episodes. So I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna try to
Do
Figure-
math.
Yeah.
math that out. Okay.
Okay, let's talk about Frank and Laurel. Laurel, you're trifling. Okay? You have a man, nice guy. He seems like he has your best interest at heart. And here you go, philandering with the bearded gigolo, also known as Frank. Okay, so what do you think about this dynamic, guys? I need some feedback because I'm really not.
Well, since episode 1, there's obviously been that like sexual tension between the two. Like, it was, I predicted it. Like, as soon as they met, it's like, all right, they're gonna be hooking up all season.
Right.
Something's gonna happen here. So it wasn't a surprise at all.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
kind of hoping that they, because they alluded to it, and the
I-
other students
I
talked
was hoping it
crap,
wouldn't happen.
But I was
Yeah.
hoping that it was just,
Or already happening. I kind of
Yeah.
thought it already was.
you thought it already
That's
was
what I
happening.
thought too.
Already
Yeah.
happening.
Thought it
I was
been
kind of
going
hoping
on.
that they were going to prove us wrong and that
Yeah.
they were just trying to set us up for the fact that she really wasn't sleeping with him.
Well, and she has no connection or chemistry with her current boyfriend.
Not
so
at all.
Nothing.
yeah, you said that
Yeah.
when we were screening.
I know.
You don't think they have a connection?
No.
Then why is she dating
Well, the
him?
thing is, I mean, like she was saying, like you could tell that they had chemistry in the first place, and then it was supposedly the way she got into the team was because he liked her.
Yeah.
I don't think that they were hooking up at all yet, though.
I feel like Laurel and her current boyfriend are kind of like a Bonnie Sam situation, but her boyfriend's Bonnie.
I think she wants she wants the bad
Like,
boy. I think
it's
that's what it
one-sided.
is.
She wants a bad boy.
Yeah.
I think he's too nice. The other one.
I wonder why Frank is not an attorney. Because he's not an attorney.
Yeah, that
He
is
seems
true.
to
They
do
kind
all the
of
dirty work for Annalise.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's something else.
they touched on
there.
it a bit with the last episode. or the
They
one
did
before,
touch on it.
but they didn't really go into detail.
Yeah, they didn't. Like,
And
he's
then
supposed to be,
actually-
but maybe something happened where...
Yeah, and also just like I know they said it in the episode, but it was super quick that his character knew my family.
Oh,
Like my
yeah,
character's
yeah,
family.
yeah.
Because we're supposed to be. I think what it is we live in the same community,
Okay.
which is more like my area is like the more poor area. Like this was stuff that was in the script before, and then they changed it around a bit.
Right.
But like I was supposed to live in like kind of the less rich area. Like the students, there was a line before like the students that go to Middleton wouldn't have hung out where I live.
Let's talk
Interesting.
about your
Interesting.
character.
Yeah. Yeah, Julian, a question for you. Because there's so much going on in this series, how much did they tell you, like, in terms of your preparation for the role? Like, did they make stuff up? Did they lead you different ways to sort of keep the secrecy?
Well, when I auditioned, I can't remember exactly what it was, but the storyline was a lot different. Like they made like the family members different people, and like the way that he was killed was different and all that. So they covered it up so that you wouldn't have known until the person got it. But it was just very kind of just. I know they did it out of order, kind of. Like the big scene at the beginning where I'm telling like what happened was shot last. But there was no specific like way to go about it to where I didn't even know what was going on. Like I knew from the start, but it was sort of like a weird thing of having to go backwards because I was shooting all the like end scenes first, and like so it was trying to like keep a secret of not knowing what was happening. Like I had to pretend like I didn't know that I was gonna be fine.
Right.
How did you tap into the character? You had you know I noticed you made some cool choices there. Even though you weren't saying much. I mean, acting is not necessarily saying per se. A lot of people have the idea that you're.
Yeah, well, for me, like a lot of my stuff is a lot introvertive.
Right.
Like acting, and so for me, like I just like being in it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how it was. I mean, we had like 3 days in a row of just court scenes, because the court scenes took so long because you had like literally 20 people that you had to get every coverage for. Like we were saying, the list, there's like so many characters anyway. And so we had 3 full days, like 12, 13-hour days of just courtroom.
They put you in this massive collar.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if anybody else noticed, but the collar was like so big. I'm like, why are they trying to make him look like he's 12 years old or something? Like the collar.
Well, I think
was,
what they
super
were doing
big.
is because my family and my home life, you know, I wasn't rich, and so they wanted it to be like I borrowed my my
a
dad's
mid-size.
suit kind of thing, you know.
That makes sense.
Like I remember they tried to fit me in like a super like really like fitting suit, and then they were like, no, baggy. Like it needs to be like bigger, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, acting wise, I mean, there's people like Dane DeHaan and people like that I look up to that are very much like that, like kind of always reacting.
Right.
Which is what I try to do.
They basically showed us another episode, week 5, and you said you're a fan of the show yourself when you watch it. That Annalise is continuously showing us how to get away with murder.
Oh, it's so true.
It's like she's always getting somebody off of killing somebody.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a good thing.
Well, she hasn't lost a case yet, right? From what I remember.
Yeah, I don't think so.
She
No,
hasn't
yeah.
lost.
Like it's always
Undefeated.
and it's always like stuff that like maybe is not legal, but it's like you know what I mean. Like that's actually mostly what it is. It's always
Right.
doing stuff under the table, but somehow getting it right, or like tricking the person,
Right.
which is something you never would have thought about. Which is something like the writer is like,
Right.
good job.
So you want to
Yeah.
be like
Yeah.
Team Annalise, but at the same time you like don't want to be Team Annalise.
Yeah.
Depending on where your like ethics lie.
Exactly. Well, I mean,
You want to represent you if you're.
Yeah, exactly. I like
100%,
that. Yeah,
100%.
if I'm ever in that situation, it's gonna be the first person
You're
I
like,
call.
Right.
Give me.
You know, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the justice system is that way. I mean, it is sort of flawed, where it's you're innocent until proven guilty. Like you could have done it, but as long as there's a shred of doubt that you didn't, then they can't convict you.
Well, I like that this episode that actually the defendant actually did it, and it was about defending why it was justified. Which is
Yeah, it's like I
whole
wasn't
other-
lying about it.
Right.
It came
So
out,
that's
like,
a
from
whole
the
other
beginning, yeah.
dynamic to defending someone than getting them off and not and proving that they didn't actually do it at all. You know,
Yeah.
It's more like why was it done kind of thing.
right.
Exactly.
It was like, what are they going to use? What kind of defense are they going to use?
Yeah.
And in the end, they ended up having a mistrial anyway. So it was kind of like a win, kind of not like a win. What do you guys think about Frank not wanting Laurel to get credit? Like, Laurel's like, didn't you, like, how do you know I didn't want to get credit for causing the mistrial type of thing? How do you think that Annalise would have processed that if she would have known, like, if Laurel was like, yeah, it's like she finds out that she's the one that kind of jury tampered and.
Well, I definitely don't think it would have gone the way Laurel thought it would. I think she's expecting, like, oh, well, we won, so it's a good thing. But I think Annalise always
But
has,
they didn't
like,
win.
Well, I mean, they
were victorious.
Yeah,
Right.
it wasn't a loss.
But that was
Right.
a risk, a huge risk to take.
Oh,
I think that's
absolutely.
and I think Frank was trying to protect her from, I guess, like the consequences if
Definitely.
it didn't go how it went.
I feel like Annalise knew though. I mean, for one thing, Frank's the one telling her, and I'm sure she can see in his eyes she's been lied to.
Right.
Like she said, if another man lies to her, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think
Right,
she
that's
could
true.
tell, and I feel like I mean, everyone sees the connection between him and Laurel.
Right.
So I'm sure that she was like, well, everyone's kind of done something by now except for her.
That's
So I
true.
feel like she connected it without saying.
No,
Which is
that's
something
a,
I'm waiting
that's a really
for,
good
like, in
point.
the
I mean,
future, maybe.
there's no one else Frank would be covering for that
Yeah.
that hard.
Because he doesn't care.
Did we
Yeah,
figure
exactly.
out? Did we figure out more about Laurel other than this affair with Frank? I feel like there was supposed to be something more, like why she was so attached to this case. I don't know. I guess like
They
you said,
never
we
really
haven't
got
really-
into
they
that.
Never did.
Well, they
yeah.
Or did they?
said a little bit about, because she's always like the good doer kind of one, you
Yeah.
know, and always wanting to take the cases that are actually good for people, but because
Right.
all the other ones are sort of like just get them out of prison, even though they did it, you know.
Right.
But for me, it was like I protected my mother, and it wasn't like I did it just to kill, you know.
Yeah.
So I think she wanted finally to have a case that was solved without it being like a negative thing, you know.
Right, like a case she believed in.
She's like a
Right.
superwoman.
Well, yeah, it seemed like it was the first one that they weren't lying about it. I
Yeah.
mean, the murder did happen, and they were completely upfront about how it happened. Like, the first thing was he walked us through how it went down.
But they still
This
kind
is
of
how it
were-
went,
Yeah.
guys.
It was
Yeah.
really interesting, like, even though they weren't lying, like, kind of preparing their case and doing under the table stuff. But it was interesting to me, the manipulation involved with the jury, and, like, each person was handpicked, and then if they didn't like someone or their case changed, they were able to get them out of the jury and bring someone else in. So that's crazy to me
It
that
is,
they
yeah.
like
I
that
thought
that
so,
whole
too.
process. Like, does that kind of stuff actually happen? Because that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that was news to me. I never knew that they did all of that.
Well, I think it's like
that's
they have to
crazy.
gather their jury, so it's like all these. It's like when people have
The
jury
jury
duty,
selection.
you obviously are
Yeah.
in it or not.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I thought that was crazy too. That they could easily be like. It was so well done though, the way they did that in this
Yeah.
episode. Like
It
people,
was.
like the black guy was like obviously against cops, and then it's like there's all these people and the pregnant woman. It's like
Nobody
people-
ever calls cops.
Yeah, I know, I know, right?
All stereotypical.
You're like, wait a.
It's pretty fun. You guys want to call in? You guys have any questions? You guys have any input?
Yeah.
You guys want to give us your
Yeah.
2 cents or whatever? You guys give us a call. 424-253-0504. 424-253-0504.
Except we won't be able to hear you. So
Oh, I'll be able to hear
Yeah, you
him.
can talk
It has to be
Yeah.
about
You
me.
guys can call in and speak with Julian.
Play operator.
our assistant over here. Can't take any calls right now. Sorry.
He's taking all the calls. He's like, oh, what do I say?
Yeah, I'll just
Talk to
repeat
me
the
right now.
question.
Right. He's like, Thaddeus, he wants to know. Yeah, okay. So, Annalise confronts Nate, shows up in his driveway when he comes home. I would be scared if I was Nate and I drove in my driveway and saw Annalise just kind of standing there.
Yeah, I mean, how did she even get there? I was like, you were just binge drinking at your house.
Which
That's
means she
why.
was drunk.
That's what she
Right.
said. They put us on the drunk side. You know, you end up doing stuff that you can't like account for when you're like drunk. You're like, I don't know how I got there.
But I was there.
And then I woke up.
there.
I don't know how I got there either. Next to somebody I've never met before in my life. Like, no, you met them and you did this, you did all that. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what it felt like. Like she just ended up there.
Why do you guys think Nate was lying in the first place about all of the evidence he found against Sam?
Because he probably wanted to make her think that, go back to normal so I can really investigate and see what's going on.
That's what I think too.
Right.
Because, obviously she came to him, so maybe she's trying to get some kind of alibi, because, oftentimes when there's an affair, the spouse did it.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe he's trying to find out if she's trying to cover up something so he can find out what's really going on without letting her know. He's like, no, I'm sure, blah, 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 everything's cool, just go back to your life. So he's like,
Also, so she'll
Then
leave
you
him
go
alone
investigate.
too. Yeah.
yeah,
I think she's constantly on him. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I think to have her off his back for a while is probably.
Exactly. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe there was some good intention behind it. What do you think, Heather?
Well, last week I thought that he was covering up because he was mad that she got him fired. So I thought, he's not
But
going
he's
to
not
help her
totally
anymore.
fired now, is he? He's on suspension.
Now he's
Now
fired.
Now he's fired.
because of what Bonnie did to get the tape.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I thought this was like, revenge. Like, I'm not going to help you because you screwed me over.
Yeah, at that point, though, I think he still was just on suspension.
He was.
Yeah.
He was
Right,
on
when
suspension.
he lied to Annalise. But to me, like you said, it was more just, I'm not going to incriminate anyone until I know for sure.
Right.
Sort of like how the justice system works. Like, you have to be sure beyond any doubt that
That's
they
not really how
are.
justice.
Wait, were you saying that he thought that usually like
Well, you just got to get Annalise is your way.
Right.
were you saying that usually it's the spouse who like the cheating husband and it's usually like the wife who kills the girl that
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the one that's getting
So he
cheated
thought
on.
it could have been Annalise?
Well, you never know. So maybe he's like,
Well, it was her.
Could have
My
been.
mind is
still
just
be.
going
It could still be
there.
her.
The fingers are
My
pointing
mind
at
is
Sam.
just
it
going in so many
right? It
directions.
could.
I
It
hadn't
could.
even thought of that
Maybe
before.
she's just tired of him messing around with co-eds, and
Oh my god.
she's a drug dealer, right?
Wait.
Annalise?
No, the girl.
Oh,
Lila.
Lila.
Yeah.
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 So maybe I think there's a couple of twists that are gonna smack us over the head coming up.
Well, they kind of have to too because they're getting really close to the day he died. So
Right.
I keep wondering what they're gonna do after that.
Yeah, what's gonna happen after?
Because they're getting really close. Because I mean, it's good that they have these gaps because if it was every week, you'd know that there's something up because these cases wouldn't come up every week. So at least they do it strategically, like they know it's every 3 weeks or so.
Right.
But yeah, I keep wondering what's gonna happen after it goes like present day. Because it's gonna happen
That just
quick.
blew my
It might even
mind.
irony
happen.
of this, I love the irony because the irony of the show is she's able to get everybody off for all the murders that they commit, and she's gonna have trouble getting away with murder
Is she
with this
the one that's
situation.
getting away with murder? Wow.
The
I just
ultimate-
like
She's
right
the-
now.
I know the name.
Blown.
She may be the one that doesn't get away with murder. Maybe she killed Sam,
And makes all her little
And then she's
people
getting her
do it.
minions.
and her little
Yeah.
minions are trying to help her.
Yeah, just,
Well, shit. If she
just you
gives me a
guys really
recommendation
want that
letter-
job, don't you?
You know what? I helped her remember like 20 years from now. Cut to 20 years from now. Remember that time I put your husband, I rolled him up in that carpet, okay? You gave me the recommendation letter, yes, but hell, I took hell of a risk.
But so we know Frank isn't in on it though, because when Laurel brings back the trophy, she's like, "I need your help." or
But
something.
Asher's the one who has the trophy. So
Yeah, and he realized he's like, I just realized this last episode, like he's not even in the group that's taking care of the body. Like he is.
Yeah.
Oh, you just figured that out?
Yeah.
Like last
Yeah.
week, I was like, oh my god. And for some reason, it didn't hit me until he was knocking on the door.
Right.
I was
It
like, he
would
doesn't know
totally-
anything.
It
He
would
would have
totally not make sense for him to be a part of the group.
No.
Definitely not.
You're making jokes
Yeah.
the whole time. It'd probably kill him too.
They're probably like,
While
oh,
we're at it,
let me call my dad. We have somebody that handles this kind of stuff for us all the time. You know, because he has this like rich dad. He's
True.
a douche.
You'd
Anyway,
probably be crying again.
yo, what was the deal with that?
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I was like, okay. I mean, it was weird because everything up to that point was completely contradictory to that.
or
like
maybe
he
his
was
rich dad is abusive.
maybe
Oh, maybe.
could be.
That'd be interesting.
It is
Maybe
cool
he-
to see him on this, like after Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, love him on that show.
That's cool. Now we're gonna talk.
Definitely a different character.
Now we're gonna start covering. Okay. So Connor is in court and he is surfing a gay app called Humper. HUMPR. Is it? I guess it's like the gay version of Tinder or something like
Well,
that.
there's
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking
I mean,
about.
there's
it's-
one Grinder, so it's kind of like
Oh,
It's like a
Grindr.
knockoff
like
of
the
Grinder.
And then Grinder is like you can find somebody.
Oh, I
right
think they
there
were
on the
talking
spot.
about that actually. I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how Grinder works.
She's like, well, this is how.
Damn.
Sorry.
About to catch you slipping.
Figures out.
Well, this is what you do, and then you go over there, and then you like really, Shirley,
I'm
really.
pretty sure though it's just like the gay version of Tinder. From what I've heard.
Yeah, I think it's
From
more
what I've
aggressive,
read,
though.
I don't know.
Okay, what put him on to even find this guy? Like, how did he make that
Connection like lumberjack.
I had to
is they
catch
calls
up
it.
because I was like, this is a gay app that you can like find people like on this. I was like processing it before without even really like paying attention.
You can probably search names, right?
Well, I don't think you can search names, but remember when he said that there are a lot of hot guys in this area? It's because like when you set your like, okay, not that I don't want to sound like an expert on this, but
No,
when
but
you
it makes
set
sense.
like your rate, like for how
You're like 5 mile
Deductive
radius.
Tell us,
reasoning.
Shirley.
how many miles away like who you're searching for is? Oh my god, I'm gonna start talking about this.
No, it's
But you can
deductive
find
reasoning.
people,
You're
like,
good.
in your same like
Yeah,
area.
proximity, yeah.
Yeah, or
So
like,
if he's there and he's there.
or like if you checked in somewhere. Oh my god, stop. But you get matched with people based on like proximity and
Okay.
location and stuff. So if he's doing it from the courtroom, that means the jury guy was too.
Oh, so
So that's how they matched.
Okay.
All right. No, I'm done. I'm done
Okay,
talking
but
about
what's
Humper.
funny is Connor didn't get any like props for that. Like Annalise didn't.
You're right.
So it's like, I think this is the time or the transition where you actually start seeing them doing things because they want to just do things for Annalise. Like that loyalty is starting to like transition into not just wanting to do good as a student,
Right.
but like they're starting to get this loyalty thing.
Right,
Like,
yeah, they're
maybe-
not just sucking up anymore. It's
Right.
like them actually doing.
like they're
the
part of
work.
the,
Yeah.
her
I think
team.
they're all
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
they're
getting
becoming a
part of it
team.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're becoming a team, and I guess we see that in the present day when they're, you know, trying to cover up this thing together, and not just showing off. And
Yeah. Because clearly they have something to do with that, and Annalise does too.
I know, it's weird that she's not around. Did
Yeah,
they say she was
right.
gone or something?
I don't know. They're doing a dirty work
Very
for
convenient.
sure. Yeah, conveniently.
A little trip.
She's not there that night.
She probably did it, and then she's like, all right, minions, go.
Yeah, just I need to work out the best alibi ever right now.
Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting to see what they do and how they formulate. We'll talk a little bit more on predictions. But Wes, he confronts. Did you expect him to like show up at? Like, he always like shows up. He pops up at the house. He popped up at the house when the detective was going down on her on the desk.
Yeah,
he just pops
he's
up.
always watching.
So conveniently, like.
Now Annalisa's coming out of the bathroom with her nightgown on, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" Like he just
And he still has the hood.
hood on.
I know.
Like,
That's what it was.
looking hella creepy too.
That was a little intrusive.
Him as long
The hoodie doesn't
Yeah,
make
it's like-
you less visible.
Right? You can't see me.
You're standing in the middle of the room.
Right.
Like, in her bedroom.
I feel like there's some connection between Wes and Rebecca that Rebecca probably doesn't know, but Wes knows from like they might have history or something, because other than him just liking her, because I feel like he's so loyal to her and she like doesn't even give him the time of day, that it's really
Interesting.
weird to me that he's always protecting her and risking his internship and all this stuff for her, and she like, I don't get that. I feel like there's something else there.
Maybe they have juvie history.
Oh, maybe.
Because obviously he didn't get to law school based on his intro. He didn't get there through traditional means.
I feel like he's just
Yeah.
really interested because when they first met, it's like this guy like ran out of the room and like then he becomes like one of the like supposed like suspects in the killings. And, like, so I think
Yeah.
he just like all of a sudden he's hooked. Like now he's like,
But how did he know just from that interaction that she was innocent? You know what I mean? Like I feel like he protected her.
maybe it's like the puppy
knowing
dog
he's-
thing. Like he's like, I feel like I need to protect her.
Maybe he's
I
the
don't know.
Bonnie again. I don't know.
No.
Everyone's
He said
the
this is risking a huge thing right now, like confronting her. I mean, he could lose everything that he
And then when he
worked for.
pretended to be an actual lawyer to help her out, and then she like
Exactly.
ratted him out, I would have been like, screw that.
That's
I'm
taking
out.
a
Yeah.
big risk. What
Right.
he did by going down there. So
Especially since the phone seems like a completely suspect thing. Like if you stash a phone in someone else's apartment,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
she's guilty.
yeah, why would she
What?
leave it at his place instead of her place?
Or trash it, like hide it somewhere.
Because she knew he'd find it.
I know. I think it was
Right?
kind of a little bait, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if she's trying to draw him in, then why would she like go crazy when he comes to see her and pretend to be
know, man.
pretend to be an attorney? Like it's just like I don't know. I feel there's a couple of inconsistencies, but I think they're gonna flesh everything out and kind of explain everything in the next few episodes. Hopefully.
Do you guys think Annalise keeps putting the moves on Wes?
Oh, yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
first episode, and then like the preview for next week. It's like,
They just
well,
it's like they do these scenes where they just keep getting closer and like hands like right
Yeah,
here, and then you're like,
yeah.
what's happening? Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a fan of that.
I'm not a fan of
That's
it.
weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's
Yeah.
like she's trying to do this seductive thing. It's like, hello, look at Rebecca. He's not your type.
But do you realize too that he's
Like-
kind
less
of
piercings.
like he obviously has a thing for Rebecca, but he's not like when there's these weird things with Annalise, he's kind of like just like there, like he's still connected though.
Right.
Like I feel like he would have just been like, I'm gonna go now,
Yeah.
but he stays
Right.
even when it gets like really close.
For
One
how
thing-
involved he is, he always has that like deer in the headlights look to
Yeah.
him. Like
Yeah,
he has
he
no
does.
idea what's going on, but he also knows
he's like-
everything that's going
Yeah.
on.
I think he's one of the. I know,
Probably
right?
why he was cast. Just look surprised. Got it.
And he's British in real life.
Yeah.
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 And he uses his American accent like nonstop, so he gets it right. He is
Right.
so cool.
The method acting.
Yeah.
Really
Interesting.
stepping into the character.
Cheerio. Okay, so I think that
You're like,
I think it's very interesting also that Wes is the only one who's kind of like stands his ground with Annalise, even though he's the one that should be the most like thankful for being there, so
Right.
to speak, because how he got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But he
take
also
classes
has
in
so
school
much
to begin
dirt
with.
on her that like
it is weird, huh? It's like
She
they both
can't
know
do
each
it
other.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
I mean,
he has her whole career.
He has like
in his back
immunity
pocket.
in the whole thing.
Yeah, I
It's
think
weird.
that's maybe where some of her like seduction and type moves come into play. Like she wants to have him on her good side, just because he at any given time can be like, okay, well you're cheating on your husband with this guy.
yeah, I forgot about that until just now. That because it hasn't come up.
Yeah,
again.
he can drop the Nate bomb like any time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, is that really a threat?
Well, now he can drop the bomb that Sam is the one who was sleeping with Lila or whatever.
Right, I think it's only a threat because right now Annalise has leverage over Sam because he's in the wrong, like he cheated. If Wes offsets that and like makes them even, I think it's a completely different dynamic, like especially at home. Also in the trial because she's representing Rebecca, so it's all just a lot of craziness.
Right. It's like messy. It's gotten really, really messy, but organized messy, and it makes sense. So how everything is like unfolding and unraveling. We see Michaela. She's still going crazy over this ring, and who's telling her to leave the ring, or just forget it.
Everyone.
Yeah, but is that really smart to leave?
No, it's
Because
not.
of
It's a
evidence
thing.
that she
Right.
was there. And,
So to me, I would be like, we gotta find this ring.
Yeah.
Like everybody should be searching for it, and it doesn't seem like anybody
I know.
has a flashlight or anything.
No.
They don't have the flashlight app on their phones. They all their phones. Like I don't know. It should be easier to find this ring.
They probably just figure like it's gonna be somewhere in the woods. It's teeny tiny. There's no
Yeah,
way they're
true.
gonna find it in the dark.
They don't
They're
have a lot of
screw it,
time.
let's just go.
Unless
they're running out
it's
of
with the
time.
body.
I
Yeah.
know. That's what I was
And
thinking.
then they burn it, and then you find the ring with the body, which is going to implicate everybody.
That ring's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
The ring.
The ring's gonna
Come back to haunt everyone. Okay, so you guys want to go to? Do we have any news and gossip?
Actually, I've got some news. You guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. News and gossip, Sean. Let's do it. Hit it.
Can't stand up.
Okay.
Are we good? Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
Well,
We can't hear still.
sorry,
Okay.
the audio.
Go ahead.
difficulties.
News and gossip, JB.
The show is doing really well, as we know, but they just came out with the ratings for the first 2 weeks of the premiere episode, and the ratings basically doubled, which
Really?
is huge.
Since then?
Yeah, since it came out, that first 2 week period, the ratings for the premiere episode doubled, so it's up to 9.5 million for each demographic, basically.
Wow.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
summing it up, but pretty much, pretty good stuff. solid premiere. And that makes it one of the biggest for the network, which means it was bigger than the premiere of Grey's Anatomy.
Wow.
Wow.
Bravo,
Eat
guys.
your heart out,
Good
Meredith.
job.
Eat your heart out, Meredith
Yeah.
Grey. That's dope. Okay, so we're on the right track. Of course, I think anything that Shonda produces comes from Shonda Land. It's just gonna go
Land.
like this and keep growing.
She's just a genius.
Yeah.
Okay, so predictions.
AfterBuzz.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on.
Visual cues. Excellent.
It's like Halloween.
It's not
man.
coming through here.
Yeah.
Anyway. How apropos. Okay, How to Get Away with Murder, Season 1, Episode 5, predictions. Sterling,
Oh,
go.
wait, I want to go first. I need to collect.
Heather,
After all of the,
okay.
after all the revelations I just had, and
I
from mine
know.
is
Like, there's so
Okay.
many. Where to begin?
Heather, go.
Okay. Oh gosh. Now I'm like on the spot. Okay. I'm gonna say something with Wes and Annalise is definitely gonna be going down. Obviously, after he confronts her, and I think. Oh, I want to say it's gonna kind of break their little relationship, but I don't think they could do that. I don't know. I want to say they're going to,
I
but
have
they
a
can't.
prediction.
Go.
Sorry, just came to me.
Go for it. Fire away.
I predict that Bonnie killed Lila because she's jealous about her relationship with Sam.
Oh,
Whoa.
snap.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Oh.
I'm
Just
the
came to
only
me a
blonde
dream
in your
one
life.
time.
Dang.
One time, you mean right now?
And I don't know. I haven't developed it further because but
That's a good one,
I
though.
think that she killed Lila out of jealousy or maybe to protect Sam or whatever. I feel like it can't be Sam. After all of this build up, it's that's too obvious.
Frank likes co-eds too.
He does.
That he does.
What if they're all in on it?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, I
Frank,
think-
Bonnie, Annalise, Sam.
Ooh. Just the whole house.
The whole house goes.
They all took a
Public
turn.
stoning.
Oh, whack,
Just
right.
kill Sam. I think it was the students that took out Sam, and I think that Annalise is going to be their lawyer, saying that it could have been her to give them the doubt.
All of them?
Crazy.
What?
Okay, I think the exact opposite.
Oh.
I
we have a
think-
debate.
I think that Annalise killed Sam, and the students are gonna have to come together to defend her without her.
Okay.
I like that.
She's like, here's your next assignment. I killed my husband. Now
Oh.
defend me.
Right.
Yeah.
So this whole time they've been learning, and the climax is them getting her off, and she won't be able to lead it her own defense, obviously.
Interesting. I like that.
Here's my question. With all of this, like, if this is resolved at the end of the season, what does that leave for season 2? You know, like if it's
Somebody else has to die.
Yeah.
New
Yeah,
class.
but then like
Yeah.
if she's up for
New
murder
class.
or
That's a
whatever.
good one.
Like a
New
skins
Yeah,
class.
like,
thing
just like
where
a whole
everyone
new cast
changes.
of people, or
Maybe.
yeah,
I mean,
guess
keep
it's-
I mean,
Annalise,
she's so
obviously.
good. You can't get rid of her.
No.
Yeah, but remember, this is school. So you
True.
keep Annalise
Yeah. Keep
teaching her class, and then there's next year there's a new class.
But it isn't law school.
Isn't it like
takes
4
a
years?
while.
Yeah.
But you
So
don't have
maybe
the
they all
same.
get
Yeah.
thrown in jail.
Do you, okay, any of you who've been to law school, or you guys know,
You call in.
or you know
Clearly
somebody that's
we
been
haven't.
right, leave comments on the channel or whatever. Also subscribe and give us 5 stars on iTunes and all that good stuff. But let us know if you have the same teachers repeatedly in law school. I've never been to law school. I don't know. I'm never going to law school.
We have any
So.
predictions down on the couch?
Yes.
Well, okay,
Julian.
like after everyone just said
You got
all
any
that.
secrets
Right.
there?
Well, I
He's
agree
like,
with you. Yeah, I agree with you about the thing where I think all the fingers are pointing at Sam too much. So now I feel like he's been lying so much that it might be telling the truth now. Finally, I do feel like there's gonna be an Asher episode soon though, because I feel like we don't really know that much about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we have to-
why isn't he with the rest of the group?
I feel like there's more under that, like all
There's
the
more
jokes
depth.
and all the like you said, maybe his dad is abusive or was abusive. I don't know. I feel like there's something underneath that. Because
Right.
it seems like right now, like they're having a lot of, like they had a Connor episode before,
Yeah.
and they did more Laurel, and I feel like
They
it's
did
time
Michaela.
for Asher. Yeah, it's true, huh?
I
Yeah.
also think that there's something up because you notice they keep in Wes's apartment. He keeps evaluating those marks on the wall.
What is that?
Yeah.
Like he
it's
keeps
so weird.
doing that, and it's not like okay, we notice it looks like there's sex marks on the wall. We get it. So now they keep doing
pushing
it. It's
yeah.
like, is there more to it?
Like the person that lived there before, maybe he's gonna come back.
Right.
Wasn't he a former law student
Uh-huh.
too? So maybe he had something to do with Annalise and that whole.
It does seem
Yeah.
weird. I feel like someone new is gonna come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be the
Like he'll just pop out.
yeah. A lot
That'd be
of
interesting.
A lot of things could happen.
Well, I guess that's what predictions are
Yeah.
for. You guys share your theories with us. Give us a call. Until next time, where can we find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sterling Cates.
Nice. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JB_Zimmerman.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Heather Joy Smith.
And we want to thank our very special guest, Julian De La Celle, for coming in.
Yeah,
Yay.
awesome.
Hey,
Thank
Julian,
you.
you're the bomb. You did a great job,
Thank
and we're
you.
looking forward to seeing you in other things. What else do you have coming up?
I actually have in 2 weeks a Blackish episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the show?
No.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
I've seen it once.
It's
I need to
very
watch it
funny.
more. It's
I have
really
to say,
funny.
as a
It's really
Blackish
good.
person, that is a very funny show, and
Yeah?
it's very,
really
very
good.
well written. I have to say. So the fact that you're going to be on that show,
Yeah.
do you know when it's airing?
Yeah, 2 weeks. It'll be episode 107. So
Nice.
2 weeks from yesterday, yeah. And then I
Awesome.
also play music, and I might be doing something with someone that you should all check out, Brandy Rowe. It's from London.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Thanks for coming by.
of course.
Well,
Yeah.
in fact, you have to come back. Especially
For
since you're
Blackish?
a fan for Blackish and for this show, especially since
Yeah.
you're such a big fan of the
I
show.
know,
We'd
I
like
love
to
it.
hear, of course, everybody's theories and predictions. I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey, and until next time, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Club Thaddeus. All right, guys. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Yeah, buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.